Bande Matram, good morning, welcome all of you. Here we are going to have a discussion on receptivity to the universal vital forces. Great thing to be known. On universal vital forces, we have discussed, at least in English, a couple of topics, and here it is on receptivity. So, receptivity to the universal vital forces, that is the topic of discussion for this glorious morning. Expectedly, we'll go little bit answering one question to the mother, and finally we'll get some explanation, and of course towards the end we may be able to know the sources of universal sources of vital forces. Three sources of vital forces in minute, in brief, we can be able to understand. Anyway, this morning we are going to have a brief discussion on question was put to the mother: do the universal vital forces have any limits? Make friendship with the sun. Mother has quoted that people went to the village. It was scorching heat and they got tired. People starting from the city and moving into the heart of the hamlet or village or any rural area, very difficult for them to manage. There will be nothing, no provisions, no proper arrangements, and these people, they got tired, and finally it was advised, make friendship with the sun, your problem will be over. So like this, that is the thing we have to get. It is there, universally present, but the problem is that how we can be able to manage it. That's what the technique we must know, and here the topic is on receptivity, how to receive. That is the topic to be discussed, and the question is, do the universal vital forces have any limit? Mother explains, I don't think that forces have a limit. That's what very clear. Very initially, mother makes it very clear. It is a crystal clear clarification. I don't think that the forces have a limit, because in a comparison with us, they are certainly unlimited. Limitation we have, limitation to our life, limitation to our ego, limitation to our thinking, limitation to our desires. Everything got its limitation, but thing is that to these universal forces certainly unlimited, there is no limit, but it's our capacity of reception that is limited. Very interesting. Himalaya is not a small thing, but our capacity, we can lift at least at best 50 kgs. So Himalaya is coming, is the height, the breadth, and the weight is far better than our limit, something I mentioned around 50 kg. So how can we be able to carry it? Sometimes we feel that I can make a miracle. What that miracle is, you can ask anxiously, what that miracle is. Now I can carry the entire Himalayas in a small bag. How is it possible? How is it possible? How can you carry the Himalayas in a small bag, a small packet? Is it possible at all? Yes, it is possible. How? See, some images are there, something is being sold, portraits are there, some pictures are there. It can be carried in a small bag. It's okay. No, there is absolutely no problem. So you will find very interesting. I am a fool. He is fooling me. And second thing, you can feel how ignorant I am when somebody is speaking that I can carry the entire Himalaya in a 5 kg polythene packet. That I could not be able to understand what really he wants to say. That is my problem. It is not his problem. Anyway, mother quotes, our reception is limited. Our capacity of reception is limited, but certainly these forces, their limits are not limited. We can't observe them beyond a certain measure. We cannot observe them beyond a certain measure because we have got our capacity, our strength. We are limited. How can we, in our limitation and a limited capacity, we can bear the unlimited? That is the question of the, that is the problem with us. And then we must keep a balance between the expenditure and the capacity to receive. That is what it is there. Sundays, it is limitless. Wherever you can go, you can get the Sundays. But thing is that what about our capacity? It is just around 10:30, but we are being held up in imprisoned, encaged in a small room. We are having something like a fan or some cooling instrument like a cooler, refrigerator, something like, because we can't bury, we can carry out. So that is what the problem, suppose we have got our capacity. So this is a balance between expenditure and capacity. That is what we to capacity to receive. If one spends suddenly in a certain kind of impulse, then for example in the impulsive movement, if one spends much more than one has received, one needs a brief moment of concentration, calm, receptivity to observe the universal process. Your capacity is you can take at best two pieces, two or three pieces of bread, but the thing is that bread is not limited, but your capacity, eating capacity is limited. If you want to take you exceed your limit, then naturally you will be in trouble. And so for that, actually what you have to do, you have to enlarge, elevate your capacity, expand your capacity of need a brief moment of concentration, calm, other course, concentration, calm, receptivity. That's what you have to increase to observe the universal process. Otherwise, how is it possible? Somebody is going, I want to carry the Himalayas on my head. Is it? If you will be able to carry, then I will give you 5 lakhs. Yes, you give 5 lakhs, I will be able to carry it. Then he is going and trying to lift it on the head. Then this man who is about to carry, who has faced the challenge, taken the challenge that I will carry it, he is telling just you do one thing, please help me. And all, if you provide a render a help, then it is possible. Then what? You just try to raise this Himalayas to my head so that I can carry it, no problem. You are gone. You don't know where really you stand. Then observe the universal pieces. For that moment of concentration and calm receptivity, that's what you have to increase. You must put yourself in a certain condition to receive them. That condition must be utilized, that must be there. So receive them, and then they last for a certain time. These forces, universal forces that are coming, they are lasting for some time, and once you have spent them, you must begin again to receive them. If this force, whatever is received, you have spent already, because it has been told between the balance between the expenditure and capacity to receive. If it is spent, then you have to go and buy something more, so receive something more. It is in this sense that there are limits, it is not the forces that are limited, but it is the receptivity that is limited. So receptivity is limited. This receptivity, this base, this bearing capacity has to be increased from time to time, as per your requirement, and so that you will be able to receive them. So not the universal forces, these are unlimited. Universal forces are unlimited, but what is limited, that is your receptivity is limited. So for that, actually you have to improve your receptivity. That is your requirement. Another question was simultaneously asked to the mother on this universal receptivity to universal forces. That is a great question and grand question. How can we increase the receptivity? So this is the question. How can we increase the receptivity? You are telling that our capacity is limited, our receptivity is limited, but not the forces. Forces are unlimited. So if the thing is that we have to increase the receptivity, that is the only solution and only way left to us. That is the only solution left to us with us. Okay, we just have to admit, we just try to understand, it is fine. But thing is that how can we do that? How can we increase the receptivity? So mother tries to explain in a single word: by progressing. By progressing, that is the great solution. Question is big, but answer is a very small, one word answer. So how can we increase the receptivity? By progressing. You have to progress steadily, steadfastly. Again and again you have to progress, so that this receptivity can increase the receptivity. One must first know how to open himself. That is what initial condition. You must open, it is okay. Then how can we open? What is the formula? What is the way? What is the process? How can I open it? So once mother tries to explain in her own language, in her own style, one must first know how to open himself, and then second, the great quietude know, in great quietude know how to assimilate the forces. First of all, you have to open it. Then when you open, spare for it, and it is coming. And once it is coming, you have to open. And after you are opening, then what you have to do in great quietude, how to assimilate these process. This is the process. One has received. It has received. It has, you have got it. Then how to spend it? How to assimilate it? And not to throw them out again. You have called, it is coming, and after coming simply you are throwing it out. Very difficult, with gaining with difficulty, but throwing easily, it is not, it is a bad advice, it is a bad method. With much difficulty you are gaining something, but very easily you are throwing. That is what that is the system, that is the error with the human being. That's what. So mother wanted to quote, one must know to open oneself. First you have to open it. Second, in a great quietude you must know how to assimilate it, this process that has been received, but not to throw them again. One must know how to assimilate them again. Mother to know tries to say, no, you must know the process, the technique, how to assimilate them. That is the question, that is the big thing. So the process lies in the normal but progressively equilibrium period of assimilation. So mother quotes, this progress already initially mother has explained in a single word, that is by progress. So this progress lies in a normal and progressive equilibrium. Progressive equilibrium, mother uses the term that is progressive equilibrium, and period of assimilation means reception, assimilation, and period of the expenditure, that actually equilibrium between, you have to go between two things. Equilibrium must be maintained between two sides. One, reception and assimilation in one side. Second, period of expenditure, when you are receiving, that is one side. Assimilating, that is also coming on that side, but on the reverse side, how you are spending. Both the method, both the technique you must know, and knowing how to balance between the two. That balance, you have received, you have assimilated, okay, you know how to spend it, and this equilibrium, just balance between the two, and alternate them in a rhythm which your personal one. How you will do, that's what it is, that balance is required. Simply buying a kg, 1 kg of potato is not problem. Thing is that how you want to manage, how you want to carry out, and how you want to check out your plans, that is different. You must not go beyond your capacity. You must not go beyond your capacity. That is a great thing has been told by mother. You must not remain below, neither you will try to go up, nor you will go below, because the universal vital forces are not something which you could put into a strong box. Nothing like this. That's what you must be very careful. Very interesting line has been quoted by mother. You must not go beyond the capacity, nor remain below it. But because universal vital forces are not something which could be put into a strong box. I can save it now. Later, whenever I want, I will try to spend it of my choice. I have got some money, I will put it in a box, and whenever I require, I will try to spend it. And this is not like this. You must know how to carry out the equilibrium, how to bring out the balance. That is what. Then they must circulate. You are not simply putting idly like a muck on the box. So you must try to circulate. So what we have to do, you must know how to receive, at the same time how to spend. That is the thing, that is the procedure, that is the thing you must know. How to receive, on one side receive and assimilate, and simultaneously know the second phase, how to spend it. But to increase the capacity of reception, to increase the capacity of reception so as to have more and more of the things which are to be used up, to be spent. That is what you must understand, you must know. That is the ideology we are knowing, we think. So this is a great thing, a great ideal. It is a balance between receptivity and expenditure. Anyway, it is a great thing, and we have already known three sources of vital forces. Already we have discussed, and again. This vital forces, on vital forces we have discussed, universal vital forces also we have quoted in many occasions. Anyway, it is a advantageous position, and receiving it requires a great lot of things, for that only. In that, a lot of preparation is there. For that you have to aspire, you have to open, and you have to know the source. And on one side you will know how to receive them, how to assimilate them. On the second side, on the other side, you have to know how to spend it. There must be a balance, there must be an equilibrium, otherwise because it can't be stored. So that's what you know, that's what you must know, and knowing all these things, you have to go very cautiously. Bande Matram.